Well, hello, friends. Mark Holmes here, and as always, thank you guys for watching, commenting, subscribing, and being part of the Joe Boo Sports Report. Without you guys, this literally does not work. Okay, so I've been running around taking care of some business and things today, and actually I feel a little bit tired. But, I got to keep you guys in the news with Dak Prescott. It was interesting because Miss Jackie sent me a link today to article written by Fanside, and it's kind of cool. The curious case of Dak Prescott hate. For from the moment he started winning in place of Tony Romo, we knew there were going to be problems. Only a few weeks into Dak Prescott's professional career with the Dallas Cowboys, a full-fledged quarterback controversy arose. And with only half a dozen games to reference, Cowboys Nation confidently took their respective corners, never to leave, destined to endless arguments for the foreseeable future. Fast forward 3 seasons, the Dallas Cowboys tribalism is still reigning supreme. Sure, the anti-Dak crowd has diminished or faded back into the hedge, but the hate is real, and no amounts of proof or contrary will change their minds. And I damn sure understand that one, because Lord knows it doesn't matter what Dak Prescott does. The bar always changes. It used to be, oh, he can't throw the ball downfield. He's dink and dunk. And we were winning games. Now, second in the league in passing yards, oh, they're empty stats. No matter what happens, people are going to end up making a narrative that says it doesn't matter. I think we could literally win the Super Bowl back-to-back years, and it won't be that Dak gets any credit. They'll just say, oh, well, he should have won more or something. And going on to this article, Ben, and we're going to talk about the contract here in a second. It's safe to say Dak Prescott could lead the Cowboys to Super Bowl, and it still wouldn't change his critics' minds. They come with excuses why he was actually bad, why it's a product of the system, why it's not worth paying a franchise quarterback. They will never accept him. First, they said it was win percentages that didn't matter because he was piling up big yardage with total TDs. Then he started putting up elite yardage and TDs, and they said those are empty stats in garbage time. Then, when elite numbers were qualified through QBR and EPA, they said those stats were only mathematicians understood weren't real stats. Then, when the advanced stats were explained, they said they were only possible because Dak had an all-star cast, which is true. Then, when presented with running game poor EPA per play compared to passing, the receiving corps having high drop rates, and the coaching staff's poor early down play calling, they said the running issues were because opponents were loading the box. Drops were from accurate balls, and play calling was because the Cowboys abandoned the run too early. Then when they showed teams were not stacking the box, that Dak was one of the most accurate passers, and the Dallas Cowboys stuck for a run far longer than the NFL average team, then they said only thing that mattered was winning. The same thing they discredit at the start, rinse and repeat. Wow. So as you go through and you look at all these stats in here, where you're third, fourth, fifth, sixth, in almost every category in NFL quarterbacks, it's still, nope, doesn't matter. He's not winning the Super Bowl. Well, Aaron Rodgers didn't win the Super Bowl this year. Russell Wilson didn't win the Super Bowl this year. Kirk Cousins didn't win the Super Bowl this year. Drew Brees didn't. Tom Brady didn't. The Dak Prescott haters in Cowboys Nation will forever move the goalposts because they don't want to like Dak. He could win the next 2 Super Bowls and they'll find a way to discredit the man even more than that. As Dak's contract situation endlessly drags on, the haters are hard to set arbitrary limits and the maximum offer he should be made, while all completely ignoring the reality that the NFL quarterback market is always inflating the cost of doing business. So, it is what it is. Now, something that I said that the Cowboys were going to do, and what made sense is this, and this is from Undisputed this morning.
CBS Sports reports they will instead use the tag on Amari while looking to strike a deal with Dak for 6 years. Franchise tag deadline quickly approaches. While multiple sources indicate Dallas was going to apply the tag to Dak, CBS Sports reports they will instead use the tag on Amari while looking to strike a deal with Dak for 6 years or longer. Greg Jennings, should the Cowboys go short or long term with Dak Prescott?
I think the Cowboys should go long term. When you look at what they've said in the past, they've wanted to marry he and Ezekiel Elliott together and make sure that their careers kind of go along the same path and they grow together and they win together, if you will. And that's what they would like to do. If I'm Dak Prescott, I look at the guys that have gotten paid. I look at the guys who've signed their contracts at my position, and I'm like, absolutely not. The ideal contract year count would be around 4 years, 4 to 5 years. Everyone, you look at Carson Wentz, 4-year deal. Russell Wilson, 4-year deal. Aaron Rodgers, 4-year deal. Jared Goff, 4-year deal. So for him to sign a 6-year or long-term deal, it's so many ways you can manipulate those numbers in that contract when you're looking at that type of a player. You can backload it, you can front load it, and then the money that you have guaranteed up front, it's great right away, but then once you get to the back end of that contract,
it's
then
crap.
What are those numbers looking like? And so we all wanted to laugh kind of at, or I shouldn't say laugh, we all kind of was shocked at a guy like Kirk Cousins' deal, which was 3 years, but he's getting the last laugh right now because he's winning. Right. And so when you look at guys in Dak Prescott's situation, should they go long? Yes, the Cowboys, because if you know what you want, try to lock it up. You got your coach
lock
in
it
a
down.
5-year deal. You want your quarterback to be married to your coach as well. So why not try to get him in a 5+ year deal, and then you have that,
because the price is going to go up. You're locking them in today's dollars.
And you can start to plug and play, and I realize what it is we need outside of just that quarterback position.
I wouldn't do it if I'm the Cowboys. I got some advice.
Oh, shut up. Man, you are the dumbest SOB
Use
out
the
there.
Kirk Cousins who you brought up. Use his blueprint. Franchise tag Dak for the next 2 years, right? Each year. And then at that point, you can make a decision. I'm not giving $37 million.
Redskins type blueprint.
Yeah, I'm not
Okay,
giving
yeah, Greg Jennings, like, okay.
$37 million to a top 15 quarterback who's not worth that money.
Okay, let's stop there for a second. If you franchise tag him this year, if Pat Mahomes and Deshaun Watson get their deals done before that April, or I think it's April 15th time, then the franchise tag will go up to probably about 35. And then you got to pay 120% of what you paid this year. So that's going to get you into the 40s. So what you're saying is we're going to pay Dak Prescott $70+ million for 2 years, and he can walk away. Is that what you're honestly saying? Now, back to the whole thing where people are saying, oh, man, he turned down $33 million. We don't have the details of that. Now, I've heard from a little birdie that the way that deal was is, for example, Carson Wentz's deal, he already had money from his rookie deal on there where he was already getting paid. So basically, Dak's deal, because his rookie deal was so low that it was about $15 million less than what Carson Wentz signed for. And so you're looking at that and saying, I was drafted in the 4th round. I saved you draft picks. Because I was a 4th round draft pick, you were able to get Zeke Elliott. You were able to get Jalen Smith. You were able to get Antoine Woods before you got to me, and you didn't have to pay me elite money for 4 years. So now why should I take less money than Carson Wentz is? And my numbers are better than his. But we'll go on.
That's why there's a hesitation. That's why they went out and gave a running back the highest paid contract for a running back before they even paid their quarterback. Most teams just don't do that. If you have a guy you really...
And of course the Cowboys always make the right move.
This guy and just said, I'm putting this to rest, putting this to bed, let this guy know he's our guy, and they just haven't done that because they're not willing to give him 37 or whatever it is that's the current going rate. And if I'm Dak, why should I take less? Everybody else, when they sign those deals, the money keeps going up. But you want me to go backwards when everybody else, Jared Goff, everybody else got a bigger deal, but you're asking me to take less. So what does that say to me? That you don't really, do you...
I just can't listen to that. Rob Parker, he is let's call it what it is. Fox has just made him the resident clown, the ass clown of it, just to take the abuse. This whole thing is just ridiculous. But I think back to the old saying that there's no such thing as bad publicity. And I think about how the Dallas Cowboys every off season have some drama. Every one. There has never been a drama-free in recent memory that I can think of, because this whole thing where Michael Irvin basically poured gasoline on a dumpster fire by saying that he heard significant people talk about Dak Prescott being, traded and bringing in Tom Brady, has literally put the Dallas Cowboys again in the forefront, in the same way as would Tony Romo be traded to Denver or the Texans, or would Dak Prescott take over, you see what I'm saying, or Des Bryant, that there might be a video out there 10 times worse than Ray Rice, or DeMarco Murray, should they pay him or not, or DeMarcus Lawrence. Because here's what we got to realize. It's not about winning football. It's about making money. And the Dallas Cowboys are the most valuable franchise in all of sports. They put in 12,000 plus more fans in the stands without having to win a Super Bowl. And this whole thing, hate to say it, it's kind of manufactured to keep that narrative going. Dak's eventually going to get his money. But it is what it is. But in hindsight, I kind of said the same thing to you guys before. What you want to do is, because that franchise tag is so big, it's going to lock you. If you franchise tag Dak Prescott, it's going to lock you in with a hard $33, $34 million. You can't backload that. You can't signing bonus that. That is that number. If you sign him to a contract, you can make that first year team friendly. You can make that thing $20 million if you want to. And then you use the tag on Amari Cooper, because you have to look and say, well, Dak, 4 years, he hasn't missed any time. Amari Cooper, well, he's got an injury history. If we franchise tag him, we're talking about $17 million for a wide receiver, with only having to keep him for one more year and do that as a prove-it year. And depending on if the CBA is signed or not, you could also use a transition tag on Byron Jones and maybe get some compensation if somebody wants to sign him. And that's actually the smart way to do all this, as opposed to say, I'm just not going to pay Dak. Listen, there is no guarantees that anybody's going to play past the next play. You can lose a guy like Alex Smith did for the Redskins on the turn of one play. There's no guarantee that this guy is going to continue to be good, or this guy is not going to get good. Everything in football is a gamble. Everything. So you play the numbers. Quarterbacks, generally speaking, have a longer career than any other position other than kicker. And that's where you look at it and say, there's not very many quarterbacks out there that I can get. And certainly, if you go through, and maybe I'll do this exercise later, look at the lineage of quarterbacks that have gone through with the Detroit Lions as they contemplate getting rid of Matthew Stafford. The list is endless. But again, Dak haters, your ears are shut off, and I get that. But you guys aren't going to be the death of me. You're not going to cause me to croak. I'll see you guys soon.